Hello guys, 21 equals to 2.7 starter motor problem wasn't start told in. We diagnosed the starter motor problem. You guys first disconnect the battery, and then I got the starter motor's new part as the Ford factory, and I tried to just under the truck. It's enough to get into my body, and then located the 2-volt bell housing area 30mm, and then other B and SD terminal, and then nut front side. I got the wrench and 10-30mm, and then 10-13 also socket, and a U joint and extension 6 and 2 inch, all of a 3/8 socket set. And I tried to remove B terminal, but this plastic cover does not get in. So that's why I tried to remove a backside mount bolt to 30mm, and then I attach the top side, and then this little bit tricky and then narrow spot, and then using the U joint is much easier get into the socket, and then I lose that is much harder to upside, and then that's why I remove bottom of the mount bolt and then attach the U joint and 2 inch, and then you guys can then also 6 inch more easy, and then loosen the bottom of the starter motor mount bolt, and then I take out and then slightly wiggle a little bit. It's not enough. It's starter motor mount bolt a little bit big, and then once the loose, a starter motor move forward and then make a room, and then slide out the top side, slide out the top side mount bolt, and then lean down the front portion of the SD and B terminal, and then disconnect nut and the B terminal and the 30mm, and then also 10mm SD terminal using the socket, whatever also wrenches. And then I got the 2 wire from the starter motor SD and B, and then lean down a little bit down, and then between engine mount to and then stabilizer bar, and then also slide it back on the back, and then I'll remove finally the starter motor assembly. And then reassembly, tighten 2 B and SD, and then also mount 2 bolts backside of the bell housing, and then tighten the bolt, and then finally all over truck starting is good. I quick explain how to test the starter motor B terminal from the older time battery, and the SD terminal from the key ignition switch, and then put together, shot together, starter motor should rotate the engine. If not, starter motor